Hello everyone, my name is Keith, Amateur Radio Call, WD4PTJ. I'm recording this in the early part of June, so that means at the end of this month will be the annual ARRL Field Day. What I want to do in this video is give you a few tips how to increase your score, how to increase the number of contacts you make during Field Day or for any contest for that matter. So first off, let's get this out of the way. Yes, I know that most people will tell you that Field Day is not considered a contest. But let's face it, it's set up just like a contest. You're trying to make, the most contacts that you can make, perhaps. Some people may not be worried about how many contacts they make. And if that's the case, then what I'm about to tell you may not really matter to you. But if you are trying to make more contacts, then I'm going to try to tell you some of the things that I have learned over the years, how to be more efficient and make more contacts on Field Day or for any contest for that matter. And also, let me say that I'm not trying to tell you how you have to operate. These are just tips on how you might want to operate and what might help you in order to make more contacts, how to be more efficient about it. If you don't like any of these ideas, then by all means, you don't have to use them. So for all the people that are going to get in the comments for this video and say, well, I don't want to do this, I don't want to do that, why should I do it that way? That's fine. If you don't want to operate the way I'm about to describe, then by all means, it should be fun. Operate ever how you want to. But these are just some ideas, some suggestions I have how to increase the number of contacts that you make. And I'm by no means a world-class contester. I take part in a few contests and have done pretty well in my state QSO party, but I have learned a few things, sometimes from other people over the years, that will help people to try to make more contacts. There are really two ways to make contacts on Field Day or any contest, and that's search and pounce and doing a run. Search and pounce is simply turning up and down the dial, up and down the band, up and down the VFO, and listening for stations that are calling CQ and answering those stations. Of course, the other one is doing a run, and that is calling CQ yourself and trying to get stations to come back and getting a run of contacts going. Normally, doing a run, it should be faster than search and pounce. It may depend on your station, but normally it should be faster than search and pounce. There are no multipliers in Field Day, so search and pounce does come in handy in a regular contest because you pick up multipliers sometimes that way that you didn't get by doing a run. But there are no multipliers in Field Day. But still, you really might want to try using both of these and trying to judge just when you want to switch from one to the other. And a lot of people aren't comfortable with doing a run. They're not comfortable with calling CQ themselves. They're afraid about getting a pile up coming back to them or how to handle that pile up. Don't worry about it. Look at it this way. You're the one calling CQ, and if there is a pile up, you're the one that's in control of it. Don't be intimidated by it. Listen, try to pull out the call sign you can hear, or part of a call sign you can hear. But I would encourage everyone not to be intimidated by doing a run, by calling CQ yourself. And when you're doing a run, here's something that I see sometimes. I've seen at Field Day, and I've heard it in the contest too. Try to be efficient with your time. What I mean by that is I'll hear somebody, I'll use my call sign here, and they'll go CQ Field Day, Whiskey Delta 4, Papa Tango Juliet. And then they listen. And they listen. And they listen. Don't waste your time listening for 20, 30 seconds or whatever. I find about 5, 6 seconds is sufficient to listen to see if somebody's coming back to you. They haven't come back to you within at least 10 seconds or something. You need to be calling CQ again. I hear people do this. I'll see them sometimes at field day, and they'll sit there and they'll call CQ, and then nobody comes back, and they'll just sit there and wait and wait and wait. You're wasting time. You're trying to be efficient and make a number of contacts. Call CQ again. Sit there and wait about 5, 6, 7 seconds. Call CQ again. If you miss somebody by calling it at CQ the second time when they're calling you, they're going to call back again anyway. They're probably not going to give up because you happen to double with them. So try to be efficient with your time, and don't sit there and wait and wait and wait before you call CQ again. But along those same lines, don't talk too fast. I hear some serious contesters that are just like, CQ field day, Don't. That's just my recommendation. Don't. Like I've said before, you operate ever how you want to, but I find that it's a lot better you take a steady pace, not real slow, not real fast. CQ field day, Whiskey Delta 4, Papa, Tango, Juliet. Don't talk too fast. And another one, and I think this is very important, use phonetics. Use phonetics with your call sign and with repeating the other call sign. Come field day, bands are crowded. HF and on HF, it can be very hard to understand a call sign if somebody's not giving it phonetics. Use phonetics and use standard phonetics. Please try to use standard phonetics. Don't come up with something real cute that somebody may struggle to try to real quickly grasp what your call sign is. You're trying to get them to understand the first time exactly what your call sign is. So use phonetics, and please try to stick to standard phonetics. Okay, now this is one that may upset some people. I don't know. Try to avoid saying, please copy my, or please copy. I've been guilty of it. I've actually, in a sense, been called out for it. I came across a couple of years ago a YouTube video that a guy in Mississippi had done. And he did it during the Tennessee QSO party, listening to stations and working a few of them during the Tennessee QSO party. And it just so happened that he heard me. I don't remember whether he worked me. I think he did. But he heard me. He would, for a little bit in his video, he was listening to me calling. And I was coming back saying, please copy my. And, he kind of criticized me for doing that in his video. And when I first heard it, it kind of bothered me, that he called me out in his video. Because that very year that he done that, I came in first place in the state of Tennessee in low power phone. And I'm like, I thought I did a pretty good job, and you're criticizing my technique. And the more I thought about it and heard some other people talking about, not what I did, but just talking in general about that, I realized that it's a waste of time. Why are you saying, please copy my? If the exchange let's just say I'm working here, WD4PTJ, field day, and my exchange is 2 Alpha Tennessee. And somebody comes back, they give me their call sign, they're W1, blah, blah, blah. I come back, W1, blah, 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 2 Alpha Tennessee. Just that quick. Instead of W1, blah, 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 please copy my 2 Alpha Tennessee. See, it's a lot more efficient and a lot quicker if you drop the please copy my or please copy. I guess the same thing even goes for we are 2 Alpha Tennessee. None of that's really necessary in order to get the exchange back and forth between the two stations. Another one along the same lines that's not necessary is to give me my call sign back. If I'm calling CQ Field Day, Whiskey Delta 4, Papa Tango Juliet, and you come back to me, Whiskey Delta 4, Papa Tango Juliet, this is W1, blah, blah, blah. There's no need in you giving me my call sign. I know my call sign, you know. I'm pretty sure that you're on my frequency. You're probably calling me. Yeah. So there's really no need in giving me my call sign. Just give me your call sign. I'll come back, give the exchange. You give me your exchange. And then we can say, thank you, 73, and on to the next one. And in closing, I'd like to say, if you go to Field Day, don't be afraid to take part. Sometimes I go to a Field Day operation, and I'll see the radio sitting there and for a period of time with nobody operating because nobody's willing to sit down and start working stations. Don't be afraid to take part. It's an operating event. So if you go to Field Day and you get a chance, sit down and operate. But as I said before, please don't feel like I'm telling you how you have to operate. These are just tips that I'm giving to try to increase the number of contacts you make. If you don't want to follow any of them, that's fine. That's okay. Although I do hope that you'll use phonetics and standard phonetics. But other than that, it's just it's up to you. You know, like I say, these are just tips that I found will help you increase the number of contacts you make. So I'd encourage everybody to get out there for Field Day this year and have fun. And if you like this video, be sure and hit the like button. Feel free to subscribe to the channel. Till next time, 73 everyone.